Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the LoFi podcast. That is the League of Extraordinary Film Interpreters. Yes, the E is silent. It's so silent, we don't even put in the name.
Ooh.
Right? Right? What do you think?
Is that canon?
No. I just threw that in there.
Silent D.
Yeah. Like the extraordinary threw me off.
Yeah, well, whatever. I
can't do it, no.
More like
It's
you were
too
nervous
silent.
and said it.
No! Okay, maybe.
Don't bother me. No.
Anyway.
Okay.
It's not canon.
I'm going to get this tattoo removed.
I don't know if I'm going to do this review anymore.
Well, see, because the one I got has LOEFI. Lo-fi. Get it? It still works.
Oh,
Whatever, we're thinking too hard on this.
Alright.
We are your latest source for film discussion, debating, theorists / reviews, whatever this ends up being, man. But
I like it.
I'm your host, Frank. Today, we're joined by Caleb,
Hello, everyone.
Heidi,
Hi.
and Rick.
Hey,
We're here to talk about Captain Marvel today.
Marvel.
No.
Oh, no, we're not.
Or is it
alright.
Miss Marvel?
Well, even then.
Oh, is it Warbird?
Or Warbird?
Pegasus.
Or is it Veers?
Carol.
Or is it Carol? Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it's going to be at, right? So, in case y'all, haven't caught up, I mean, Miss Marvel is the latest big Marvel movie. It's been they've been blasting advertisements for the last year. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen a Marvel movie. What was the last one? Black Panther?
Yeah, Infinity War.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Infinity War after Black Panther. My bad.
Yeah.
It's been forever.
Definitely,
Yeah.
literally a year.
Yeah, literally a year.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
No, Ant-Man came out. Infinity
Yeah,
War.
that's right.
Ant-Man.
That's how good
Yeah.
Ant-Man was, because
Yeah.
no one can remember.
No. I liked it.
I liked
it. It was fine.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
it was fine. It was good.
It's fine.
But I would say it was solid the way this movie was. I think it was pretty good, right? I want to say, I mean, before we get into spoilers and stuff, just in general, if you haven't, what?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Finish. I'll say it
In
after.
general, if you haven't seen Miss Marvel, at some point I'll do a berry
you're
of
gonna
when we're
keep
gonna start
calling it Miss
spoilers.
It's Captain Marvel.
All right, Captain Marvel. I'm so used to Miss
Um,
Marvel. I'm sorry. When I was reading in '08, well, that's when I stopped actually. That's when they were coming out with the Mighty Avengers. It was Miss Marvel.
Now,
Sorry.
did you stop reading in general, like books? Or
Everything.
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 It was just my brain went to shit because the internet became memes. I stopped reading books and comics.
Got
I
it.
just my brain is mush. You can only accept a
Don't
certain
bring
form
memes.
of comedy now. That
Don't
it
bring
can
memes.
only be 3-word memes.
Makes sense.
What were you gonna say?
I forgot.
It's
Classic.
Dude, yeah.
Classic.
No,
I
are
knew I
we-
was going to forget it, and I forgot it after I thought I was going to forget it. I already knew. I was like, no, it's gone.
So what do you think, Heidi?
Just overall, honestly, I'm probably gonna say I was bored a little bit.
Mm.
It was long, the beginning. It took a minute to get into. As far as what it did well, I think it set up her character really well. The director had some weird choices, which I think threw off her development, at least for me, and how I related to her.
There was 2 directors actually. There.
Okay, is that
a
what
couple.
it was?
Yeah.
Because there were even some scenes that were weird, but without getting into it,
Yeah.
I think it's not my favorite, but I don't think it was a bad movie.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a good, solid movie. I mean, I think there was a right amount of action and even the backstory was a little bit different and weird. But I mean, we'll get into that
Yeah,
after. But
yeah.
I think overall, you think in the scope of what Marvel movies have been, I still enjoyed it, say, than older Marvel movies. Just me personally, I enjoyed it. When I think of older Marvel movies, I'm going back to Thor 2 and 3 or Iron Man's, right? The later Iron Man's at least. Iron Man 1 was awesome. I mean, I think universally everyone says it's great and stuff, but just the scope of how better they are now at things to back then, in balancing action and wit and story and humor and stuff like that. I think it still hit a lot of those marks, regardless of some of the, I guess, story stuff we'll get into later.
See, I feel like it could have been funnier, or it could have been more judged up.
Yeah. I came in it with mixed, or I heard mixed things about it, from reviewers. I didn't watch anything, but I just heard there's mixed reviews, and so my expectation was a little lower, and I didn't really like any of the trailers. So when I saw it, I was like, hey, you know what? I thought it was pretty good for the most part. Yeah, it was a little slower, it was slower in the sense of like there wasn't a lot of action. There was like maybe 2 action scenes, and it was just like, I'm like, okay. And then I think my big problem is like my other problem with Black Panther is that I didn't like the main character. Well, like the main character was the most boring character in a sense.
Okay.
That's
like when you think of Black Panther, you like Killmonger, or you like Shuri, or you like the world, or whatever else. You know, no one like, oh, Black Panther was my favorite part because he's just there. Same with Captain Marvel. I think my problem with her. But
my favorite character in the movie.
Well, that's what I think. I just think it's like whatever. My problem with Brie Larson is that I didn't understand like what she would say quippy lines, but she would just say it straight. Like everything was so straight. Like I was like, I don't get like, yeah, I guess that was just a joke you just made, or like everything she said was the same. Like whether it was serious or it was a joke, it was always the same. So that's why I felt that I was like it was. She made like her weird choices throughout. Like if she, like I said, if she was gonna go quippy, she should have gone all out quippy. Like a Peter Quill. Like you'd know when he's making a joke or when he's like trying to hide something. Like I don't know. I think that was my biggest problem. Was just her.
I mean, I think I kind of liked that though, or at least her delivery of them, because it was mostly like she was just like not necessarily 100% sarcastic or whatever, but if you've ever seen her usually play other roles, say like Scott Pilgrim, stuff like that, it's almost like this very deadpan delivery of that stuff.
Yeah, but it's
a little
so
bit,
deadpan,
you know?
like I get the joke in Scott Pilgrim. And this one I couldn't tell when she was actually making a joke or whatever. Like, yes, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I think it was... All right, man.
Oh my god!
It was alright. I mean, for me, it falls on the lower tier of the Marvel movies. I definitely feel like it felt rushed. I felt like they wanted to push this story out, and they did everything that they wanted to check off that list. Okay, we sort of have an origin story. We sort of have her tethered to some people here on Earth. She's got the whole well, without too much spoilers here, but I felt like I felt a little let down.
Okay.
I think it was an okay movie, but I definitely feel like it could have been more.
I mean, the hype was there. Like, we're going into this before, part 2 of Infinity Wars. Like,
and you think that was maybe the issues that like you were waiting so long for like a movie like this? And
no, I don't think it was
the hype
because I wasn't stroking my movie boner.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, I guess with that being said, we'll go ahead and start spoiler stuff here. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. Check back with us to hear our thoughts on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did want to start with the origin stuff. I think like unlike most of Marvel's origins, like you start a character like she already has her power, right? Rather than where you see all these other origins them becoming strong and stuff like that.
So you're starting with like. It's almost like Tarantino, right? Where we're remembering with her.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a weird choice. I could
weird.
see it, but I don't think they executed it as well as they could have.
Yeah.
I liked it actually. I liked going back in time,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the problem was it was way too long. It took way too long to do all of that.
Yeah.
Like, it literally took 3/4 of the whole movie to do her whole origin.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, okay. But I mean, I liked it. I liked the flashbacks. I liked the slow motion fire scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just took way too long for her to really flesh out. Like, who am I? And even then, she doesn't really become her old self. She's still new Captain Marvel. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, you mentioned like the action scenes and not having enough. I kind of felt the opposite, where in the beginning, I felt like the pacing didn't give you a break to like stop, because you start like with them on that mission, right? They're blowing stuff up and they're killing people, whatever, and then it's them crash landing into Earth and then they're fighting on Earth. I felt like a lot of the first 30, 40 minutes or so was just like, okay, when when are you gonna take a break and give me some kind of exposition here? It was just, I felt like it was action.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for confusion. They think that's and all of it, like it feeling rushed, and then the disparity in like her character, whether it be her acting or like how the director wanted her to act. There was just it was really confusing.
I mean, maybe because the way I think about it, when you shoot a film, there obviously you don't shoot it in chronological order. Like maybe just if it's two different directors, maybe directing different scenes at different times, maybe just when they put it together, it maybe seemed off. But I definitely, for me, the pacing was a little bit weird in the beginning, where I was like, okay, when do you stop and take a break? Because at least for me, in the beginning, especially, it just felt like it was, a bunch of action and stuff, and obviously her not remembering stuff. I mean, I feel like that comes in the middle towards the end or whatever. I mean, I think that being said, I think mostly I still enjoyed it mainly because, like I said, like it still hits a lot of like the funny part, action part, or like Marvel's kind of their cookie cutter recipe
their
for
formula.
Their formula for like what their movies have been and stuff.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
far.
Like they're hitting all those check boxes, and I just felt like the story was also a little bit rushed because I feel like with some of these other origin stories from some of the Marvel movies, there's just so much more that they give you to the character, and with her, because she had the amnesia or whatever, we couldn't really grow with her. She doesn't even know who the fuck she is.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed to know who she is?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's maybe even due to the comic having a bunch of different, like even their story or back history of Captain Marvel was all discombobulated and stuff because I mean, you had like 8 different characters play Captain Marvel.
If you want to get into comic discussion, bro, this is gonna get really fucking weird.
Well,
man.
just I mean, we don't have to go all of it, but obviously it's a weird history.
Well, yeah,
right?
I mean, nothing's gonna be 1-to-1 on the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is its own thing. I mean, it's going to take from comics and stuff like that, but I mean, I feel like the fact that Captain Marvel was obviously she wasn't even a very top tier hero in the first place. When I found out they're doing this from her, I'm like, I think like when they had their run of like Mighty Avengers in like 0809 or whatever, I was like, oh cool, like Miss Marvel's getting her own movie, but they're branding it as Captain Marvel, right? Because there was a lot of that back history they were like pulling all this information from, which I mean, you can only pick, cherry pick whatever you're going to try to form as a new timeline for this character or whatever. But I feel like maybe that, coupled with 2 different directors, coupled with the way they're doing this origin story, almost like in reverse order, if she already has her powers, like, I don't know, maybe all that together kind of made it a little harder to follow, or let's say for you to like enjoy, like maybe because it just has all these different factors working against it, in my opinion.
You can tell they wanted to shoot it like a movie almost. Like there were some times when the screen even like shifted, like there were scene cuts or like just close-up shots of their hands. Like it was really weird, like an art, like if they wanted to make artistic choices with it. Yeah,
I would have been so happy if this was just a fucking like space dogfight movie. Like that would have been great.
Yeah.
Like, and then her out in space, like fucking shit up, would have been great. But I love that they made the fucking Skrulls like good guys.
Yeah, that was a really cool.
Yeah,
twist.
that was a weird. I did not see that coming.
Really fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I was already like, nah, dude, they're bad guys. When have they ever been fucking good guys? Never, right?
Yeah.
Or not, maybe not never, but
Yeah.
Like hardly ever. And then for them to twist it like that, I was like, damn.
I mean, I also felt
that's pretty fun.
I felt like even as sincere as he was being, like when he was first like telling her, like I was like, nah, he's playing her. Like this is gonna show how like
how
deceptive they are,
how
right?
charismatic
I thought there was gonna be a twist or some shit, but then he like shows her the family, they're hugging. I'm like, oh okay, no, they're
it's real.
it's real.
Their family,
Okay, fine, it's real.
Nah, they're still faking.
Yeah. I mean, because like. I mean, obviously they're not following comics 1-to-1, but they're the reason like Civil War even happened.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So like at some point, I mean, Spider-Woman hasn't been introduced, but she was like killed, and then when she's dead, she turns into a Skrull. They're like, oh shit, Skrulls have invaded. Yeah, it's during Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So then that's when they this whole event unfolds, and they find out that the Skrulls have been behind like these last like major events, like Civil War was one of them.
So we're talking about comics, bro.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. Why not? I mean, that's where it's derived from. You know, we're kind of comparing and contrasting, whatever. But so you see them kind of gathering inspiration from that. So I thought for sure like, oh, like this is the perfect time to bring in Skrulls and say, hey, everything that was bad in Civil War happened. I was like, it was going to be Skrulls or whatever. So I was already.
You thought this was going to be the jumpstart of Secret Invasion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, oh, cool, because they're more or less they've kind of been following a similar timeline from when those comics started or whatever. So I thought like, oh, cool, and right in line is Secret Invasion. That's when they Skrulls came back.
Them in the trailer coming out from the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was very Secret Invasion.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was cool. But I mean, I think overall, I still enjoyed it despite everything. I mean, I guess we'll go and talk about the pink elephant in the room, which is a lot of the like not necessarily controversy, but a lot of the talk around this was the hardcore like feminists coming out about it and stuff. And I thought coming into this was going to be very like ham-fisted, very forced, because the narrative around it obviously right now very women empowerment, which is fine, but I mean I want a character to be great just because that character is great, right? I feel like that's the best way to combat just any kind of feminism or anti-feminism in general is just make a good movie with a good character, and I think they still did that with this movie. I didn't feel at all like it was like it had a message or whatever. That's just my opinion.
No,
I'm waiting for your rebuttal because you were saying.
What was I saying? I haven't said anything.
You agreed with David.
Well,
so.
I mean, I agree with you in the sense of like I know there's been a lot of things on both sides of like
What's the argument as someone who's not on the internet? What are they saying, or what's wrong?
No, just that it's very.
I mean, some people are saying that they're hyping her up to be like the Wonder Woman of Marvel.
Who's hyping?
People on the internet.
People on the internet.
Oh,
the masses.
Voices.
And so they're very like yay women, and other people are like, no, you're just doing this
right?
Yeah, I mean
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, I guess.
Right? A little bit of everything. Twitter in general.
Yeah. It's in there. It's the ether of the internet, man. You gotta look it up. But I mean,
either way, I thought the movie was really good on its own. I didn't think if it had some feminist views, like it wasn't like blatantly like I did this because I'm a woman, or I did this because whatever, I'm a strong woman, or whatever. Like it was just like, hey, I'm strong in general. And I'm like, right on. Like it was cool. Like even if there was like undertones, like it wasn't super like obvious in that sense. I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the whole feminism thing, I thought it was all stupid. Like it's fine. It's just a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, in case you're not aware, I mean, there was even
I don't know what's happening.
Well, I mean, there's different stuff, but obviously the latest one was just that she had made some comments, I think, about white male journalists covering her and stuff like
Brie
that.
Larson?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so that pissed off a lot of white males who are
covering her,
like for interviews or just in general and stuff like that, photos or whatever.
Shoots.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously a little bit of not a lot of backlash, but didn't paint her in the right light because she had to reiterate or whatever. But that was the stuff around the movie, right? So there's a little bit of that happening. You're like, oh, I don't know if this movie's gonna try to have some kind of message other than just being a good piece of entertainment. Which I was afraid of going in because I was like, is this going to be tainted by? It's going to try to have a message. Is it going to be ham-fisty with, trying to say something? But I mean, I felt like it didn't. I still enjoyed it. I think it was just as a movie. That's a piece of entertainment in general. Like I enjoyed it regardless. I mean, personally.
So you don't think that Marvel was trying to, like, get that Wonder Woman cash?
No, because it was already in the plan.
Right.
That's true. They announced their stuff a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not DC's doing whatever they're doing, but I mean, I think a strong female lead right now. Like, I mean, yeah, that's kind of.
Well, what if it was like Captain Marvel, and then after Wonder Woman, they're like, hey, you know what? We're just gonna make it Brie Larson.
Nah. No.
As opposed to.
No.
I mean.
You mean like Marvel, like when it was a dude and he transferred his powers to her?
No, what I'm saying is like they could have that casting could have been open for any gender.
Well, yeah, because it's been both like Kree, male.
Well, Captain Marvel has been both male and female.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was always going to be the female.
Yeah.
Version, you
Well,
think?
I think because in comics right now, Captain Marvel's a female, so
Yeah.
I think that's why they did it. Matter of fact, I thought it was like I said again.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is like, because the whole Wonder Woman got so much fucking like traction, right?
Mhm.
Because of the whole
It was great.
feminism. I mean, it was a good fucking movie.
It was great.
Yeah,
It was
it's
great.
On its own.
Had
right?
problems with it,
but,
yeah.
but then they throw in the whole feminism shit after or whatever, and then do you think this is Marvel's rebuttal to that, or do you think this is just them making a movie?
Honestly, I think it's them doing their own thing because if they felt like
no
they
agenda at all.
I don't. Well, not to answer directly to Wonder Woman now. I think because they already had a schedule.
Yeah,
You
when
know?
they announced their slate, like in 2013, 2014, this was on that slate
Yeah.
from like years ago.
Yeah. So I think it's been in the works, right? It's been something they've been doing. But I think. It's just timing. I don't think it was necessarily like, oh, we gotta have our own Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's like she already exists in comics as part of like the
Well, I
Avengers.
mean,
and
there was
stuff.
already talks of Marvel hasn't had a lead female aside from what
See, but that's the thing.
Black Widow, but Black Widow hasn't had her own movie.
Yeah. Well, when they're like in talks that she was going to at some point.
Yeah,
I think she has
she's
said
going
she
to
didn't
now.
want
I think the
to,
issue
and
is that,
they
like,
do it now.
Marvel doesn't really have an equivalent to Wonder Woman, right? They have. I mean, you can draw parallels between Tony Stark and Batman, or Superman and well, I guess Hulk would
Captain
say,
Marvel.
just or Captain Marvel even, right? But like, there's no actual like Wonder Woman,
I think
Well, I would say it would be Captain
DC.
Marvel.
Well, in that sense, DC has more iconic characters, and Marvel just has better movies. I think.
Bold statement. I don't know. I like Marvel characters, but
No, but the Marvel characters aren't as mainstream as a DC.
I
character.
think at some point they weren't. But I think now,
Now
like, yeah,
it
they're
is.
totally
Yeah,
a
that's what
household
I'm
name
saying.
or
Like, yeah,
whatever.
Wonder Woman.
But
has
yeah,
always
like
been
back then,
mainstream.
every new Superman and Batman, if you said Ant-Man, they would have been like, what? Like,
Yeah,
who was
or
that?
even Iron Man. No one knew who Iron Man
Yeah.
was before 2008.
Yeah, I feel like Iron Man wasn't even like an A-list hero until
Exactly,
Iron
yeah.
Man came out, right? Like, he was part of the Avengers, but he was part of the team.
Disagree.
But the
Iron
mainstream-
Man's been mainstream.
But the
forever.
mainstream, everyone
Yeah,
knew who Iron
but
Man
like,
was before.
but it wasn't until like Robert Downey
Well, it
Jr.
depends on when you say everyone.
Well, because like everyone, like if you go to like your neighbor, they know who Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman is.
Does your neighbor read comics?
No, I'm saying
I don't think
even if
they. I don't
didn't
think
read
they would
comics-
have to. Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think they
Even
would
if
have
they
to.
didn't read comics, they knew who those people were, like back in early 2000s.
Yeah,
You're
we're
saying,
talking
just
like back
more
then.
like mainstream.
back
like,
then,
everyone.
what?
Complete pop mainstream.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What
Yeah,
actually
that's right.
permeated was
Gotcha.
like DC heroes, or whatever.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know.
Digestible for the wider audience, if that makes you feel any better. Superman,
He's-
Batman,
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman. There you go.
Spider-Man.
Martian Manhunter.
But I mean, so like you weren't just crazy about more or less the pacing, or what was it specifically like kind of that you weren't?
I mean, it felt like it was a little. I mean, I keep saying it rushed, man, because that's what it felt like. It felt like they threw this movie out just to throw the movie out because they know you're gonna watch that mid-credit scene that you want to watch for Endgame.
You're saying this movie's all just mid-credits?
I think what it is it's like, fuck, we need Captain Marvel in there. Let's put this fucking movie together. Let's try and throw some cool ass effects. Let's put the bare minimum that we can do, and as long as we won't get shit for that, it's fine.
I mean, I didn't feel that way. I mean, because they even had they casted someone like Jude Law in there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they didn't
Jude
give
Law-
a shit. It could've
Jude Law's
been-
character was in Guardians of the Galaxy, so he was coming back, right? Yeah, he was. He was what's his name's character? Wasn't
Was
he?
he in
With John C.
Guardians?
Riley.
No,
He was
that
John C.
different.
Riley's partner.
No, that's a different guy. That's a British actor.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Oh,
about. That's a
fuck.
different guy. You know what? When I saw Jude Law, I thought that was that dude though. I was like,
Fuck.
oh, is that one British
Dude,
dude?
I thought Jude Law was in Guardians
No,
of the
man.
Galaxy.
You know who was though? Korath, the guy with the two swords or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. Like, oh,
Did you
like
know?
he's actually, yeah, yes. I thought it was funny that he was in this. I was like, oh, cool. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see him before he was,
Well,
whatever.
okay,
He was
so
Korath the Pursuer.
that
or
was
whatever.
Ronan the Accuser, also.
Yes, that
Shit.
was Ronan the
Yeah.
Accuser.
That
Same
was
guy,
before the
Lee
Black-
Pace.
yeah.
Reprising his role as Ronan the Accuser. Obviously, I guess before he became a heretic or whatever with the black eyes and stuff. It would be, I guess before he
And
went
this
like
was
mad.
before what's his name was his lackey too, because he was the
Yes.
one working with him.
Yeah, yeah. So he was kind of like alone there, or at least another dude that was also wearing whatever that chainmail
Sure.
fucking looking helmet or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what you would call that.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think chainmail because it's like a helmet and like something
Headset.
hanging down.
Yeah.
But
Headdress.
headdress. Let's go with headdress.
Headdress.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought Captain Marvel's powers were confusing
Okay.
because she can shoot through walls and stuff, and toward the end of the movie, I know her powers are all unleashed, and she can like laser through ships and stuff.
Mhm.
But when she shoots people, like they get back up and they start fighting her again.
Well, because she had the dampening thing.
No, but that after that, when she's actually doing that, like when she's fighting, and then that No Doubt song's playing, and she's shooting them.
Which
still.
I thought was weird, man.
I didn't like that song.
I didn't like it
I
either.
agree with y'all.
And
I
this
agree.
is
I
and
didn't
this
like
is
that song.
why
That was the only time I didn't like it.
Look,
I
so
agree.
if you want to throw the whole feminism thing, this is where I would apply that to.
Yeah,
True.
Where I
agreed.
feel
Agreed.
with the song, this one, and the song after that one,
Which
which
one?
was another.
Oh.
Is it bad reputation?
And I
It's
saw it
always
yesterday.
bad.
Right?
I wish it
Yes,
was that
it
It
one.
was
was
bad.
probably right.
Even
I was
though
like,
it's super
I'm-
cliche,
I
I
might
would
as well-
have preferred
It might
that.
as
I
well have
agree.
been.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right? It might
Yeah.
as well have been.
I thought that was definitely
Yeah,
an
I
odd
thought-
choice having that in there like that. Or whatever.
I mean, I think Brie did a good job. Like she's very.
I love
She's
her.
fucking cute.
Yeah,
man.
she's
Yeah,
awesome.
her.
She's lovable
she's
as
great.
fuck. Every
Mhm.
time she's in a role, like
When
I
she's
just I
allowed to be her
fall in love with her.
sarcastic self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
fall in
that-
love with her every fucking
Yeah,
time.
this character was weird because it's like if they wanted her to act like a stoic soldier, like yes, like follow orders like a brainwashed person would,
Mhm.
someone who lost their memory, but then she still acts sarcastic like she would have in the past. That's what was confusing to me, really.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, it could have been an acting choice. It could have been a director's choice, like on how to deliver these lines.
Yeah, maybe that's what was causing
Yeah.
the problems was that juxtaposition
Yes.
of like stoic soldier and her being just naturally.
Yeah, and then like, who
sarcastic
am
or-
I? And then when she told the little girl that hugged her, like, oh, you know, and then she looked at her weird, and then she said, oh, that's not me anymore. I was like, that's kind of weird because how would either of you have known the difference? Like,
Yeah,
if
right.
you both act the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a lot of little moments like that that just added to like the weirdness about it.
Mhm.
It's still a good movie. I'm not like plot
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
plot wise,
That's
all
what I'm saying.
that.
Overall, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
I would
It's
watch
just
it again.
weird.
Would I recommend it to a friend? Yeah. Would I say go pay a shitload of money for it? Probably not.
Yeah. Because it was a little boring. Like I didn't have to see it in IMAX. I mean,
Would you pay $8.99 to go see it in the movie?
Would I
Yes.
pay
Yeah.
$8.99?
yeah.
Yes.
I would.
Cinema
It's a
movie
Marvel
theater.
film. It's
Yeah.
a Marvel film.
Yeah,
Eight-
it's still cinema
$8.99
movies, yeah.
If where you're at, yeah. But some places they charge more. So if,
Yeah.
if you're hitting that $10, $12 mark, nah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
go see it in the middle of the day or on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
don't go on a weekend.
But also you have to, right? Like
Yeah,
I mean,
we still have
every,
to see
every
it.
Marvel
Yeah.
movie that's gonna
Yeah.
come out now, you have
Yeah,
to
it's
watch
an experience. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going there for
To, like,
the
for the
theatrical.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all connected.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't wait this one out.
yeah, like
Because you need to see the
Before the
fucking
other one.
the mid credits so you can get ready for fucking Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, even to,
So
to know
this
why
won't
she's
come
gone or
out
where
before
she's
Endgame
gone.
comes out, right? And DVD or whatever.
the
fuck.
pager thing, it had to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To connect the dots.
Where
to that
she's
stuff.
been with the.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering too. Is like, well, how they can explain where she's been? But
Was
it's like,
she
she was
old?
finding
Yeah.
a homework for the scrolls.
Old? No.
Was she old at the end? When
No.
No.
She's
She
the
just
same
had longer
age.
hair.
You know what? Yeah, her hair looked longer, but it also looked flatter
My
instead
mom
of
said
like.
she saw a gray streak. She's like, she's in her 50s. I'm like,
No.
no, she was
No.
the same, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
How
no,
did she
she just had longer. She just looked like she was
Are they
like,
just
fucking
gonna-
tired.
Are they
Yeah,
gonna do,
that's
like,
what
a
it was.
light
Like her
years?
hair looked flat,
Yeah.
like not
Like,
even
like
done.
if she rushed over there like as quickly as she could.
Mhm.
She looked all fucking like where's Fury?
Is that how they're gonna justify?
So
it?
I was thinking,
the
like-
light space time.
Yeah, maybe like in space time was slower for her.
Yeah.
So she didn't age as
Yeah.
much.
Well, she's no longer
Oh,
human.
alien.
Or
the
human,
blood
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, so where
Her-
she bleeds already Kree
Yeah,
blood,
so maybe it
and
takes her longer
she's
to
already
age.
she's absorbed energy from the cosmic cube, so she has fucking like
Oh,
Infinity
energy.
Stone
Infinity energy.
power,
Yeah.
just like Scarlet Witch now. Scarlet Witch has the same kind of thing with
Yeah,
the
that's
reality
true.
stone.
Yeah.
What?
True.
Yeah,
Which
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were created using the reality stone with what's his name, Colonel. The dude with the eye, with the fucking monocle, the one who was like,
yeah.
okay guys, he gives that big speech about not surrendering, he closes the door, and then he's like, alright, we're gonna surrender. That's what he tells the other guys. That dude.
Okay.
He created
But I think she's
Scarlet
having
Witch.
to remember who Scarlet
and-
Witch is.
Wait.
Did you ever see I don't know.
I mean, you know
what-
who Scarlet Witch is,
she's-
right?
She's the one that does the.
The Olsen,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Olsen girl.
Yeah, the Olsen. Yeah.
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 I don't remember when
Okay,
she was
well-
introduced.
Okay, she was
Um,
introduced.
In an X-Men movie. wasn't she?
No.
with
No.
Ultron.
Wh-
Age of Ultron.
Was
right?
it? Well,
Yeah, it
that's
was
when
Age
she
of
came
Ultron.
out, but it was in the end of which movie? Was it Winter Soldier where they showed her?
I think so.
Yeah, it's
It was
maybe
the end-
something like
Yes,
it was
that.
yes,
the
they were
end
both like
credits
in the cell or
of-
whatever.
yeah,
right?
they were in the.
Someone dies. Her brother. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
a
her
spoiler.
brother.
That's her brother, right?
Yeah,
That's when he
Quicksilver
died.
dies.
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron,
That's when she's
Quicksilver
introduced.
dies.
Yeah.
Well, that's when they were like, yeah.
Right.
But they weren't made by the Reality Stone. I think she was made by the Tesseract.
They were calling them mutants.
Well, they're not mutants. No, they weren't.
They were
careful not
using
to call
another
them.
word.
Yeah.
They
but
technically can't call them mutants
Yeah.
because that Fox holds. the
no,
rights
that's
to
what I'm
mutants right
saying.
now.
So, but
Well,
that's how
it
they
was
were
with-
addressing them.
It
like-
was with the Reality Stone or not with the
Not
Reality
with the
Stone?
Reality
Because
Stone.
she has the.
She has
I mean, her
red
powers
stuff,
are.
but I don't think it's the Reality Stone because Thor had the Reality Stone and blew it up with the elf person. Yeah, no, because when there was that end credit
There's
scene,
so
it was I think he had the Tesseract, the blue cube.
Yeah.
When that end credit scene
So
happened.
Okay, so then
So,
that would be.
oh no, it was Loki's staff. He had
And
Loki's staff.
Loki's
but-
staff, yeah, that's
That's still the Tesseract.
the Tesseract, right?
Yeah, so it's still a Tesseract, but I don't think.
But they never explain how.
how they got powers.
Yeah, how the between the time of the cat spitting that cube out and it landing in or being in Loki's staff, they still haven't said, right, or whatever.
No, Shield
So-
had it.
So timeline of where the Tesseract's been.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do it.
we first see it in Captain America,
Yeah,
Red
it's
Skull
in-
has it.
Yeah, Red Skull
Okay.
has it.
right?
Okay.
And then after that, we see it again with
He crashes with it in the ice.
yeah, and then it's in the ice,
Yes.
And then
it's
it's-
on the ice.
found by
Shield. I assume.
Because
right,
Shield finds
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, Shield
Yeah.
finds Captain America.
and the Tesseract.
Yes.
Who the fuck does Larson get it?
So I think that's the problem. They retconned a couple of things I didn't like about this movie, which was his eye. Because in Winter Soldier, when Samuel L. Jackson or Nick Fury's talking to his higher up,
Yeah.
the higher up is like, "I was there when you lost your eye" or whatever, and I was like, and I hate the way he lost his eye too. It was just a cat scratch. I'm like,
Well, it's not a cat.
well, even then, but it was in a cat form that scratched. I was like, that's stupid.
In other words, they left
Like,
it
it
to
was
like
just
to
an
be a
accident.
humor.
I liked it because it was always the hype, right? How the fuck did
Well,
he lose his eye?
And that's the thing. I liked it if it was like he kept bumping into things. It's like, oh no, my eyes are fine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I thought
so
that would have been
it
the
was
joke.
a running joke, and
Yeah.
then at the end, it's the cat. The cat fucking like disintegrated his eye or whatever.
That was just stupid. I was like, really? That's how you lose your eye? Like that was dumb. I thought.
I like
Even
it.
then, so
I thought it was fun.
even then, so then they retconned that guy's speech in Winter Soldier. So I'm like, well, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Just
But I mean,
retcon
it's
that.
like everyone's got a story about Fury's eye, right? Because that's even like Coulson at the end. There is like,
when
oh
he
yeah,
does-
you were,
Yeah.
you know, is it true you lost it this way? He's like, I'm not gonna confirm or deny.
Well, because I think
so
he's
I
trying
think he wants
say,
to hype up the story himself
Yeah.
too, you know.
But why
Because-
would his higher up be like, oh yeah, I was there when you lost it or whatever?
Which higher up?
I forget. I know it's Robert Redford, but I forget what his name is in
That's
Winter
right.
Soldier. It's his boss.
That's right.
So I don't think he's
I
going to be
remember that
joking
scene now.
about it.
They were talking about when they were in the like in Nam or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I remember that scene now.
So
Fuck.
yeah, so they retconned that whole thing,
Yeah.
and I was like, why'd they have to answer?
Yeah,
that?
I would
It's
prefer
just
it if they never answered, like, or even
kept
just
it
showed.
mysterious?
Yeah.
Yeah, or they kept joking about it throughout the movie. I would have been completely fine with that,
Yeah.
and then didn't show it. So I didn't like that.
How many
Dude.
how many cats y'all think are going to be named Goose after this movie?
I'm gonna get one of them.
You can name him Goose.
They
Okay.
retcon anything else?
Um,
Because then Tesseract doesn't make any sense now, and neither does. Well, I don't like the Nick Fury thing.
So another thing was what Nick Fury was. There's the Nick Fury Jr. theory.
Huh?
You heard of this?
Junior.
Yeah.
Okay.
That because you got white Nick Fury, you got black Nick Fury
Okay.
In the comics.
in the comics, right? And to
Two
tell
different
them,
two different universes.
well, I'm okay, but then you got
Oh.
like what's his name? But I guess it's not canon, right? It's not. Should I just stop here?
Yes.
No, well, I'm still interested. At least, I mean, you brought it up. I'm at
It's
least
just that
interested
Nick
in what the
Fury
theory
had
is.
relations with some black woman, and that was so. This is Nick Fury Jr. This is not that Nick Fury.
Oh, not the
creating
white Nick
Two
Fury.
different Nick Furies.
I mean, they could still do something like that. That'd be cool. But I guess
but
white Nick
here,
Fury would be if they
he
went back
gave
in the
his full
past.
name.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
So that kind of takes away.
What was his middle name?
Oh.
forget.
His middle. Middle name was Fury, but his last name was something weird.
I know, wasn't his last
No,
name
I
Fury?
thought his last name was
Yes,
Fury.
Yeah.
Yes, Fury.
Nicholas
One of his
something
names
Fury.
is Nicholas.
So his first name is
The
Nicholas.
first one.
Um,
Fury.
Whatever. Dude.
was Carol Danvers
I'll
like
fight
was
you.
her last name, or I'm sorry, her middle name like on the jet said Avenger? I don't know if that was ever actually a thing, or you think
I
they
think it
did
was
that?
like a goose.
Yeah, you think they
Yeah.
just said just for this or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a code name.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Like
Yeah, I
Maverick
guess it's
or-
true.
Hers was Avenger.
Or
Yeah.
goose.
Anything else we want to say about Miss
Uh,
Marvel before we cut off?
I really liked the I forget his name, the actor who did the main Skrull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forget
who
his
is
name.
that? I don't know.
He was
but
the
I like
the
him.
same
in Rogue
guy.
One.
I
He was
heard
in,
it. His voice.
He was in the movie as himself though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
but who is he?
Oh, he comes out in a bunch of stuff.
I know it.
Came out of Ready Player One as the
Rogue
bad guy.
One, Ready Player One.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, Rogue One. He was like the main bad dude. He was all white and shit.
Yes, Dad, I know it. And it's like on the tip of my tongue.
The name?
Yes.
It's like
Oh, okay.
Nicholson or
I can
Johnson.
picture his
Ben,
yeah.
not Ben Nicholson. Mads, no, not Mads.
No, that Mads
It's
Mikkelsen.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
There we
Ben
go.
Mendelsohn.
All the
That's what it is,
names.
yeah. No, he's a
did
cool guy.
really fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Real.
I-
I really liked his character.
The best part of
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
I thought like when he talked about like wanting to play Samuel Jackson's superior at the time, whatever. Like again, he's like, I really miss those. Like he wanted the blue eyes because
Yeah.
that's actually him.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a funny little quip to himself and stuff, or whatever. I thought that was good.
He did fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like how they had the thing where like every time they would talk to somebody, like, oh, make sure you're not a scroll.
Yeah.
Like, what? Tell me something about this and this in
Yeah.
your past. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah. I thought that was cool because I never knew that had to be recent or late memories to be able to tell the difference or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, because
Um,
they're just copying you.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if they were to write down to their DNA, I was like, how the fuck are you gonna,
That's crazy.
like, how can you really tell, you know? But I think very, very heartwarming in this movie, man, was Stanley's, one of his last cameos.
Dude, he was reading the
He was reading the Mallrats
Mallrats.
He was
script,
reading
man.
the Mallrats script
I
Yeah.
loved that. That
for
was
his
awesome.
cameo in Mallrats. I
Yeah.
thought that was fucking hilarious.
That was
It
awesome.
Awesome.
So good.
I mean, when I saw it, though, and she was just, like, smiling, like, fuck.
Yeah.
I felt it, man.
Mhm.
That was a really good.
The
game.
intro with
Yeah,
all
the
the
intro.
families.
I hope they do that.
Keep that for.
I hope they do that for
everyone,
Endgame, man. I hope so. Well, because they did it. This was phase 2, wasn't it? Or was this phase 3 already?
What?
There's
This movie?
3 phases of the Marvel stuff.
Oh yes.
I think it's phase 3.
Yeah.
Did they change it for the
Technically-ish.
second or third phase, or because it was different in the first
Well,
one
they've
when they
been
were
changing
flipping
it
the
like every
comics.
movie now.
Like, had they?
Yeah.
I
but
thought it was
past
like
couple movies, it's a
every
little
like,
different.
hey, this chunk of movies now we're in phase 2, 3.
They were doing that at first, but then now for the past couple movies, it's been a little different. Like they'll
Okay.
add something from Black Panther, then something
Okay,
from
okay.
Guardians
Like
2.
they're like updating it.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I get you.
Um,
But I bet, like, after Endgame, I think once they reveal, like, what they're going to be doing after Endgame,
Yeah.
like, I bet new logo
do you think
also.
they'll do another slate? Like they'll announce another slate of movies?
Hell yeah. And I think they're holding on to a lot of that, right? Because,
Well, yeah.
I mean, you've
definitely.
seen Spider-Man and Homecoming, and
Yeah.
everyone already, like, oh, you know. So I bet right now too they've been making deals. I mean, there was like this large gap right between Ant-Man or even Infinity War and now Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Captain.
Sorry, it's habits.
It's Captain D.
I always knew it was Miss Marvel. Okay. I think like
Personally?
all this period where there's been less movies, there's been more time, and they're making deals, and I think they're setting stuff up, especially with their acquisition of like the X-Men again and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for real.
I think,
So excited.
I get excited thinking about like all the new stuff they can be doing
Oh,
from.
dude, I just get excited thinking Doctor Doom, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
they could do it right.
Doctor Doom into the MCU.
Yeah.
Do him justice, do him right. Holy shit.
Who would you have to be Dr. Doom?
Or even bring the Fantastic Four, dude.
John Hamm.
John Hamm is Dr.
John
Doom?
Hamm, Doctor Doom.
I love Dr.
I could buy that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Love John Hamm.
I mean, would like acquiring that stuff back, man, bringing in Reed Richards now, like if they get the right cast and everything, man.
I mean,
I'm excited for what that could mean. I bet you.
Amazing.
I bet you.
That would be the next villain.
Galactus.
Right? No,
Right?
not Galactus.
No?
No, you bring in Doom.
Okay, yeah, I guess so, right?
That's a good
Before you
point.
go back to like world or universe-ending stuff or whatever.
I mean, Doom can do that.
Yeah.
Doom has done that.
No, I know,
multiple
I know.
times.
But you think like Thanos
Yes.
is this huge like Doom's from Earth, right? Like
I know.
fucking if they're going like if Thanos was big, don't they gotta go bigger?
I love
right?
Thanos.
Yeah. And then I
Fight
mean,
me!
the next logical thing is I would think Galactus at some point. Like Galactus is coming, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. I thought
I
that
mean, they did Galactus shitty so bad last time.
was,
I liked him as
We've
a
already
clown.
done it?
No,
He's just a
no,
cloud.
it's
He's
not.
just
I
a
liked
fucking
it.
cloud.
That was the best.
Ew.
That was it. That was Galactus. Dude.
I
Do
think
y'all
that's right.
do y'all prefer it being a slate or them just announcing one movie at a time?
No, I want to slay, man. I want to know what to get excited for personally. I think the only
I don't care.
reveal. Didn't they do it like in phases? Like, hey, this is phase 1. We're gonna have this slate of movies or whatever. Some of them were still question marks, even when they announced them. Like, hey, question mark, like, you know, we'll announce this later. So I don't even think they're gonna do a full. Like, maybe they'll name the first, you know, ones they've got. But I bet you they reveal the slate
No,
just the way they
I
did
like, I
before.
like to get excited for movie-to-movie basis.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I prefer it that way.
Yeah, I feel like it when they did that, it was like this is our plan. Like they know, like we know what they're doing in a
Yeah.
sense. Like we know that. Unlike DC, they were like, we're doing all these movies.
I like DC doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, bro.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
I don't give
prefer
them too
when
much
they
credit.
do know what they're doing. That
Yeah.
that makes them seem like they got their shit down.
Yeah, because
They
I don't like how
they
they
never
keep-
do.
I don't like how
Let's
they
do another
keep-
Batman. What do we do?
I don't
No,
have-
we
I
need a
don't
new
like
Joker.
how
Get a new
they,
Joker.
Aquaman.
We're gonna put him in a maroon suit.
Let's take an Aquaman.
Aquaman.
He's gonna be a real clown.
Dude, the trench and Aquaman. Like, why are we doing this?
I haven't even seen Aquaman, dude. So
Yeah,
I
you don't
didn't-
have
dude,
to.
it's
the best
movie
Fucking-
last year.
Just watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Same shit.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't like Aquaman at all. I hated it.
retro review. Retro
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 review.
review. I'm down.
We'll go back to it.
Damn. Alright.
Dude, that movie's so long. That's another. Oh, that's another.
Yeah, that's
review.
another.
That's
Yeah.
another review. It's too long. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't like how long it was.
Just put the Aquaman banner.
Yeah.
So now
So
we're
just so now we're
Aquaman.
moving on. Hashtag Jason Momoa's tits. Whatever.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
That's all it is.
Alright.
That's all it is. What else?
Anything else we want to say about Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
I said it correctly. There you go.
He was ready.
I was-
That's alright.
It was good.
It's good.
I had
good, solid
lower
movie.
expectations, so I thought it was good.
I had higher expectations, so I was disappointed.
I also
6.5.
had low expectations. I thought the trailers didn't reveal enough for me to be like,
It's a good one.
Yeah,
But I liked it, man.
All the
It's good.
trailers were like
I'd
whatever.
give it a 6.5.
6.5.
That's what I would give.
I give it a 4 to 5 stars.
4 out of 5. So wow, that's pretty high. Really?
No, man, I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
I gave
Can't
it
trust this
2
guy.
G.
Oh, we're going real with the.
Mine's real.
He said
6.5.
6.5.
If I was being real, I'd say like a 3.5 out
Out
of
of
5.
5.
Out
Out
of
of
5.
Yeah.
Out of 10, I'd give it 6.5.
Okay. The same shit, but alright.
Not really.
Caleb?
If I were to give it a letter grade, I would give it a it's like just passing as a B. Like C plus to B, like right there.
So C minus?
No, like C.
Know what I said?
Your grades suck. Heidi, what's yours? 4 to 5 apples or?
Yeah. It's alright. Like a 3.
Alright.
Just like a 3.
Right, out of
Five.
5.
3 out of 100.
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Right there. I enjoyed it a little more, that's why I got the 0.5.
Yeah, I think.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll continue with some more impressions and reviews and stuff, and come on back. We'll see y'all later. Bye. Oh, thanks, Caleb. Thanks,
Thank you.
Caleb.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Rick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks,
Thank
Heidi.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll see you guys next
I'll see you
time.
on Monday.
Bye.